Alright, what is up guys? Hope everyone got to enjoy the solar eclipse yesterday. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why the vast majority of Chinese women have very small feet. While this is an ancient tradition that's been passed down for thousands of years. And it is a major beauty trend in China. So if a Chinese woman has a pair of large feet, that is considered to be ugly and revolting by the Asian beauty standard. And yes, even in modern day China, some women still get medical procedures. They get surgeries done in order to reduce the size of their feet. And this can be referred to as the Cinderella procedure. Obviously, the name speaks for itself, right? Cinderella, she wears those beautiful high heels. And if a Chinese girl wants to fit into those beautiful, amazing high heels, obviously she cannot have a large feet. And she will have to have a medical procedure done in order to shrink her feet. I know it's quite sick, and I mentioned in the past videos about China's obsession with being white. For example, so in China, if you enter a beauty competition or if you want to become an actress or supermodel, they want everybody's face to look like Fan Bingbing. So Fan Bingbing, she's been around for a very, very long time. She's basically the sex symbol of China's film industry for I would say over 20 years now. By the way, she's 43. I think China needs someone new, someone younger to take her spot. But basically, everything is remodeled after her. You notice she has a facial shape. In China, they call it the V face. So your face starts here, but as it goes down to your jawline, it has to completely thin out. And obviously, you have to bleach your skin to be as white and as pale as possible. And you have to have surgeries done in order to reduce your lip size because big lips are considered to be ugly and disgusting by Chinese standards. The woman's lips have to be as small as possible. Same thing with your nose. Having a big white nose is considered to be ugly by Chinese beauty standards. So the Chinese women, they have to have medical procedures done in order to shrink their nose size. And there's also the Black Dahlia surgery. That's what I call it. I don't think that's the official name. It's to open up your lips just a little bit more upwards, so it looks like you're constantly smiling. I know it's extremely creepy. So actually, the surgeons, they do kind of open your lips a little bit more on both sides. Yeah, or you can call it the Joker procedure. I think it is extremely sick and it's extremely unfortunate that so many Asian countries have arrived at this point where they're 100% obsessed with being white. And obviously, there's more to this topic, and I think it's definitely worth following up on. After I return from my 6-month trip to China, I will produce a full-length documentary on this topic and China's dark obsession with being white, because it's very dangerous and it's not healthy at all, trust me. When you put in all these chemicals, all these weird stuff on your faces just to bleach yourself, to make yourself look white, and all of those medical procedures down your face, all the Botox, the double eyelid surgery, the facial reduction surgery, and the Cinderella procedure, that takes a huge toll on both your mental and your physical health. And the obsession with the small feet, let's go back a little bit, thousands of years of history, right? And this comes back to an ancient practice called foot binding. It's very famous, and it is absolutely brutal. The amount of torture a woman has to go through. There's a picture. That's the result of the foot binding. This is a woman's feet will look like afterwards. So there used to be an ancient Chinese saying, this goes back thousands of years. It's called the 三寸金莲, which literally translates to 3-inch golden lotus. What does that mean? That refers to a woman's feet. So by ancient Chinese standards, for a woman's feet to be beautiful, a feet has to be 3 inches or less. 3 inches or less. I know these Chinese men back in the day, they were completely freaking out of their mind. Obviously, it's not possible to make a feet that small naturally. So what do? They have to bind the woman's foot. And trust me, I know it's called foot binding, but it's actually not foot binding. So what do these medical experts back in the day, what they did was they would take a girl's feet, and this is done at a very young age. She could be as young as 6 or 7. So what they would do is that they would actually grab the little Chinese girl's foot, and they will completely crush the arch of her foot. They will crush every single bone that's in her foot, including her toes. That's the only possible way to actually bind her foot into that kind of shape, to turn into a 3-inch golden lotus, to make sure that her feet will never grow past 3 inches. Humanity is 100% evil and cruel. We committed unspeakable crimes against humanity. And do you guys want to also know a dark reason why the woman's foot had to be binded this way so it never grows past 3 inches? Obviously, when you crush the arches of both of your feet, when you crush every single bone that's down there, there's no way for the woman to run, or in fact, they can barely walk, right? It's so that if they're in an unhappy or a abusive marriage or relationship, this is to make sure that these women will never ever be able to run away from their husbands, no matter how much abuse they go through. Because the truth of the matter is that they won't be able to run very far with both of their foot being broken, so that anytime they attempted to flee, they will be caught by their husband. They will be brought back to the house. They will be severely tortured and punished. And that is the reality all the way until their death. It's a very, very dark practice. It's unfortunately the similar procedures are still being done today on modern Chinese women. Listen, ladies, if you have a big feet, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Please do not ever consider getting this procedure done onto your feet, because nothing good will ever come out of this.
We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost.